Hey everyone, it's Johnson again, and I'm up here in New England, in Connecticut actually. I haven't quite made it to New Hampshire yet. And I wanted to make this video today to talk about the multi-gadget slash MP3 player that we were selling a little while ago. Many of you, I'm sure, remember that product and remember that we have a bit of an axe to grind with that particular pile of garbage. And I wanted to talk a little bit. I got back Lauren Canario, if you know, she's a super freedom activist, and I got back actually her MP3 player that I have right here. And this one in particular, I wanted to show this pile of trash that we got back. And if you take it, and for example, you take the MP3 player and you would get it, and as you see, you know, all the parts are there. You got the USB cable and the headphones, and they would have been in a little bit of a cellophane wrap. But then we have the battery, and you take it out, and you know, this is what I'm sure Lauren would have done. And take out the battery, and you put it into the player, and you close the player up, and put the cap back on so that you can, you know, have the battery casing in place and locked in position. And then you take and you would turn the player on, and it looks, you know, like everything's going to plan, and it starts up and says MP3 player as if you didn't know what it was. And that's it. That's all it does. Nothing else. These things are worthless piles of crap, and it just doesn't work. I mean, this one was a particularly defective model, and we had several defective models out of that batch. And you know, I've got an axe to grind with this product, as I'm sure many of you do. And well, one of the things that you might get used to when you come up to New England is that it gets cold in the winter, and people up here tend to have to chop wood. And so I'd like to give a little demonstration of that with our friendly little MP3 player here. Okay, well, the first thing that you want to do if you're going to chop some wood here in New England is you want to get yourself a nice axe to chop the wood with. You want to make sure it's nice and sharp. And, you know, this one in particular I like because it's got a nice yellow handle, you know, Free Talk Live kind of colors. And then the other thing that you want to do, and, you know, be somewhat safe with your axe. Normally you want to put it in wood, not on the ground like that, because that'll dull it. But you want to make sure that if you have a grain in the wood, that you want to cut across the grain. That way the wood will split nicely right down the side there. So we're going to demonstrate this. And then the other thing you want to do, so you want to make sure that you stand with a nice wide stance. Nice wide stance, so that if the axe were to come off, you don't want to chop yourself in the leg. You want to make sure that you're going to chop straight down. Then you just get a nice good height to it and come down nice and firmly. And that's one. I didn't come down hard enough. So this, you can either pull it out or you can just take, and you've got nice 2 pieces of wood. We're going to do another one. I'll get it a little bit better this time. Alright. Well, again, I want to do a little bit of a better one this time. And again, remember that you want to maintain a nice wide stance, so that again, if you come down, if you miss with the wood, you know, you miss with the axe, that you're not going to come across and you're not going to hit yourself in the leg, because that could do a lot of damage. You don't want to chop your foot off or embed an axe in your leg. It's never fun. So again, you want to take it. This time I'm just going to do it. I'm going to really hit it, because I'll show you, you know, if you get it real good, it'll just split right in half. And that's what you want to do. So again, to demonstrate, what we want to do is you just want to chop and make sure that you get a firm, clean cut. Fucking piece of crap. You want to make sure that everything is firmly destroyed. And that's how you chop wood in New England. Okay, so once you're done chopping your wood, you want to come into your nice New England wood stove, right? And then you want to get in, make sure you've got a nice hot bed of coals going, and then you want to make sure that you spread your coals around, make sure that they're nice and even. And then what you want to do is you want to take the nice log that you chopped earlier, you know, get a nice good shape, perfect size to fit in the wood stove. And you want to load it on in there. Make sure it's in good. Right in the hotbed of coals. Make sure that there's enough, air around it so that the air will travel around. You just load it in. Take your, your kindling, your fire starter, and just make sure that's in there nice and situated. And that should just get a nice fire going. And what you can do is, even if you want to, you can get it started. You give a little bit of air. Get a little bit of heat going. And it gets your fire started nicely. And then you can be warm and toasty. Sit around, listen to some Free Talk Live, and relax. Maybe get a cup of hot cocoa, some coffee, and have yourself a lovely evening.